Well, isn't this a bit interesting? Instead of live streaming this game, this is a recorded edition of mmjhl Game Day. The internet doesn't want to play nice with us tonight, so now we're here with 4:05 left in this first period, and yeah, for the first time on mmjhl Game Day since our first ever broadcast released on the network involving this league. This is a pre-recorded edition of this broadcast. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Graham the G-Show Forsyth. This is St. James against the St. Vital Junior Victorias, the St. James Junior Canucks, of course, coming into this one with a 3-game winning streak. The Vicks winners last time out here on Sunday afternoon against the Stonewall Jets. The Vicks got the scoring started in this one here tonight. So it was Luke Elliott shorthanded, taking advantage on a penalty kill for the St. Vital Junior Victorias against a St. James power play, which, by the way, for St. James, one of the best in the league so far this year when it comes to power play percentage, second at 22.8%. As they're in the offensive zone now, losing that face-off draw was Griffin Height. This gets played over to Kiesman, who back in the lineup for this Victoria's team. This gets turned over and played across to Rory Neal as calmly spins around before passing it off, gets it back and wires this heavy shot wide of the net. So we are actually back to the power play here for the Canucks. Turns out I also can't see. So the Vicks had 4 players on to begin with in that last face-off, and then they take another one short-handed, losing it again to this Canucks team, who end up sending it down low onto the stick of Griffin Height. Tries getting it back to the half wall to Romanek. Romanek gets it back to Height, who gets it to Rory Neal, but into his skates. This pass a bit intercepted with by number 26, coming down for the Vicks, a dango, and scores another short-handed goal for the Victorias. Number 26 and Lucas Gillison tucks it home for yet another short-handed goal for this Victorias team. It's a simple misplay at the line, or even before that, where Rory Neal's pass gets intercepted a bit going towards number 4 in Jacob Phillips. And there it's just a really nice display of forecheck and good stick action by Gillison to strip that puck away from Phillips, who had it for a brief period of time, but once Gillison gets it, he's off to the races and towards the net, makes a beautiful move. A backhand deke tucking 5-hole on Griffin Murphy as the Vicks up 2-zip with 45 seconds left on this kill. So what will the Canucks do to respond down here in the late parts of this first period of play? As this gets played off the half wall to Tristan Arneson, goes to Thorsteinsson, who takes a bit of a high hit there from number 22 in Brajaket, who lays the body a bit in the corner as well. Loose puck now picked up again by Kuksek. Wheeling, making his way towards that shot, just wide of it. So it ends up to the point to Enerson. Passed up top to Salamacha. Salamacha surveying options, looking for the best one. He decides it's Arneson. Goes there. He tries to dangle through, but can't get past the stick of Hayden Willis, as Willis sends it down. And another huge kill for this Vicks team, coming off of yet another short-handed goal as well. With 1:24 remaining in this first period of action, tipped by Mitchell in the slot and into the breadbasket of Connor Murphy. So the Vicks set to take another draw inside. Blakely ends up winning it to Mitchell, who Mitchell loses it down low. This gets deflected into ceiling here at the Centennial. As we'll get another face-off draw coming inside of the Canucks zone. Not sure why that went off of a Vicks player's stick and into the roof, but regardless, it's the Vicks who end up winning the draw. Rubini tries to slide that into the slot, but have that taken away as that lane clogged up. This puck sent in onto the stick of Goretzky. With under a minute left to play in this period, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. As this will be played out of the Canucks zone, back into the Vic zone. D went to Riley Netchwaduk, who gets it back. Carter Wilson reverses this back to Nolan Anderson. Netchwaduk tried to get it from behind, almost gets this through the stick of Titterson. Tries going in front with that pass, but blocked up well with Connor Murphy. A lot of good tries there from number 11 in Netchwaduk, as lays a bit of body on Titterson, down low into the corner. The puck goes now up to the point to Kiesman. His shot deflected just high of the net into the corner as a Victoria forward gives chase on it. I believe that was number 11, and Netchwaduk is from the point. One last chance here from Philippe gets deflected and wide of the net. As with that, we take it to the first intermission of play. 2-0 Victoria's lead this one off of goals from Luke Elliott and Lucas Gillison. Or as I should say, Lucas Gillison, not Gillison. As number 26 is wearing that number tonight. Sometimes we've seen him number 12, number 2 in the past, but Gillison tonight wearing number 26. And yeah, just a really nice skilled play on that shorthanded chance that the Victorias, of course, himself capitalizes on. Able to fool Connor Murphy on the breakaway chance. Connor Murphy made some good saves during that period. I thought when the Canucks were attacking, maybe instead of trying to connect back doors, the Vicks have been taking away that pass well. Look to potentially just go for a shot, put a low rebound on net, and go to work on it there. But yeah, overall, St. James had some good chances. It just comes down to a bit better puck management when it comes to special teams, specifically on the power play. It's for sure on that most recent one, a turnover that looks potentially harmless at the time, as Jacob Phillips, got that puck back initially, turns into something big as the captain, Rory Neal, kind of the one to cause that at first as he tried to get it up to the point to Jacob Phillips. But yeah, I'm sure Blake Harris and his coaching staff going to tell the boys to clean it up and just get to their game, try to at least again in this upcoming period, as we'll have the next 20 minutes to play here in this pre-recorded edition of mmjhl Game Day from St. Vital Centennial Arena. Vicks up 2-0 so far. Gilson and number 12, Luke Elliott, the goal scorers. We'll see who for the Vicks could add on to the lead potentially coming up next period, or we'll see who responds for the St. James Junior Canucks as they look to tie this one down 2-0 heading into the next 20. And this one brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Terrico, Goaltenders, and Mid-Canton Fasteners and Tools.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, The Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
And welcome back here into St. Vital Centennial Arena for the second period of action, ladies and gentlemen. The Victoria is up by 2 after the first 20 minutes of play. The goal scorers, Gilson and Elliott, shots 17-12 for the Victorias throughout that first period of play. We'll see if they can continue to lead the shot advantage and the scoreboard after this next 20 minutes is all said and done, as we're underway here for the second period of action, as this sent in by the St. James Junior Canucks, trying to hold it in at the line, number 6 in Magnus Enerson. He gives chase, gets it back in his zone and into the skates of Warfel. As Warfel, he gets it in, lost his stick in the process. As this played into the corner. Back to Hayden Willis now from his own end. Looks to stretch this up to Connor Mitchell, but Mitchell unable to cradle that. This is picked up by Aiden Bruce. Plays it over to number 6, and Magnus Enerson off the boards finds number 9 in Tristan Arneson. As Arneson plays it towards the line for Romanek. Arneson calling for the pass back, doesn't get it, instead goes across. That shot scores! It's assistant captain and defenseman Aiden Bruce led in one, rip past Ethan Penner to cut the lead in half for the Victorias, to cut the deficit in half for the St. James Junior Canucks. As that goal brought to you by this period's sponsors, one of them at least, Interico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. And yeah, just a play where way too easy for the Canucks with their transition up towards the blue line and into the zone. Tristan Arneson connects a pass to Ashton Romanek, and Romanek able to gain entry just before the blue line. And you ought to think maybe the Vics, if they played a bit more aggressive, they're able to force a takeaway, but also understand the sense that you don't want to be too aggressive and let them get behind you. But the Canucks doing a good job of going north to south at first and then working it east to west and working it to Aiden Bruce, who, as mentioned, as you can see on the scoreboard, cuts the lead down to 1 for the Vics. So there'll be a face-off draw just outside of the Victoria zone by the Canucks bench, as this one by the Canucks onto the stick of Rory Neal ends up getting this pass to his D partner in Phillips. Phillips gets it right back to Neal. Little saucer action on that pass. Neal kicks it to the right to teammate, not sure who it was. Ended up turning it over as that drop pass got cut off on the boards. That high slot, Netraduk, his shot fired high of the net. Gets back on the forecheck as forces this turnover down low up to the point to Goretzky. His shot turned aside by that pad of Murphy. Vicks able to keep it in the zone. Holding that quick one-timer. Netraduk rolled by Murphy. It's Murphy able to shut the door on number 11. Neal works it up. Now this to the slot. Height, his shot unable to go. So good stick in the lane there from Victoria's defenseman. Rather, that was actually forward, and Ryan Netraduk coming back hard to make a good play defensively. Now Goretzky going hard to get to that loose puck. Net was off. Rubini. Ended up fanning on it anyways. But a glorious chance there for the Victorias. Moments ago, turned aside by Connor Murphy. He was waiting ready for it. And in talking with his goaltending coach, I've mentioned this before, but Noah Gilbert, one of his goaltending coaches at least for Connor Murphy, told me in a podcast episode earlier this year that, hey, this kid moves even better than I do, and we've been seeing that on display at points so far this season, and definitely here tonight. As Salamacha gets his back down low to Trent Thorsteinson, but has this taken away. Pass too short, picked off by Kobe Edwards. Plays this down low to Aiden Anderson. Oh, took a high hit, but ended up not going down to the ice. So Salamacha who ends up getting a bit of a reverse hit laid on him afterwards there by Anderson. This puck picked up. Evan Philippe Passed up to Carterly, but taken away. This shot, oh, way wide of the net there from this Canucks team off of the stick of number 23. So I believe, no, it was number 22 and Osterman, as Osterman now banks this out off the boards. All the way down where Dayton Kiesman recovers as, no, there's some physical stuff going down just by the Victoria's boards, as I believe it's number 2 and Evan Philippe getting double teamed by 2 Canucks players going down to the ice, and his teammates giving him an ovation there on the bench, knowing that, hey, he stood up to 2 Canucks there and wouldn't go down without a fight. Went down swinging, as you could see there on our broadcast angle. So it'll be a few Canucks heading into the box. Victoria and Philippe also go into the box. It's the majority of the penalties taken by the Victorias in the first period. So the referee is currently sorting this one out. Rubini waiting patiently to see what they determine this call is going to be, to talk to the referees. Don't see Rory Neal out on the ice right now, so it won't be a player with a letter talking to the ref. It'll be Grindle. 16:34 remains in this one. It's the Canucks who are going to be shorthanded. And I feel like that's kind of a given what did just transpire. Some unnecessary rough stuff here at the Centennial, but it's a victorious power play brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. A hook coming up here to the Vicks will put them to 4-on-4 action. Racing this power play just 10 seconds in. This is Aiden Anderson, and a blatant hooking call there in the corner. Got his stick caught in between the body of a Canuck. So we'll leave Terrico on the screen. It'll be 4-on-4 for the next minute and 50 seconds. And not that much power play time at all for the Canucks, as this draw won by them. That's played to Neal. Plays it across now to number 9 and Tristan Arneson. Arneson back up to the point. Sends this down low for Griffin Height. As Height now drops this into the skates of Magnus Enerson. Back down low to Arneson as he wheels up now. Going down low for him is Neal. Passes it across to Height. Height now dropping a Neal on a reverse. Neal trying to go back door to Magnus Carlson, but couldn't. Is this now up to the point to Neal? Feeds the Cedars and scores! It's a defensive scoring type of night here at the Centennial for the Canucks, at least. As first Hayden Bruce, now Enerson. Some 4-on-4 action. As some great puck movement from the Canucks. And this is a team that's gotten more comfortable with each other and with their systems as the season's gone along. And even though that was even strength, still some more ice to work with, you know, with 4-on-4 less bodies out there. And just really good movement, causing some confusion in the Vicks defensive zone structure, and winds up leading to a one-timer from closer in this time off of the stick of Magnus Enerson. And that goal brought to you by Terrico. I believe we just got a text asking what happened to the game. Just funny is that, oh, a penalty, delayed one coming up here as Penner got ran. Penner just got ran into by Canucks player, I believe. Or no, had the net pushed into him. As Penner not happy, chirping and going at Romanek, as Romanek wants a piece of Penner as well. The two continuing to chirp at each other. Wouldn't that be a wild thing to see? A player versus goalie scrap. Don't think it would ever happen, to be honest with you. So we get things sorted out here once again. Number 21, and Aiden Werfel to the box, I believe, as well as Osterman is in there as well. Not quite sure what's going on at all. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, with this disruption in our broadcast schedule tonight, I think my wish for the new year is to not have any technical difficulties like this happen again.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, The Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
And welcome back from the commercial break, everybody. So here's the update. Werfel ends up, I think, getting hit in the nose pretty bad. Behind the net there, as that net came crashing off of its bearings. Now, from what I saw, Ethan Penner took a pretty good blow from that, and afterwards obviously wasn't happy and had some not so kind words, I'm sure, for Ashton Romanek, who's now in the box. It's still 4-on-4 here for both teams, though, however, as we'll be getting, like I said, 10 seconds of Canucks power play time coming up here shortly, as this kicked outright to Griffin Knight. Played into the skates of Magnus Carlson in the slot. Not Magnus Carlson, sorry, but Magnus Enerson. Magnus Carlson, a chess player, of course. But a face-off draw coming inside the Victoria zone. That's the draw to the glove hand side of number 29 and Ethan Penner for the Vics. This draw won cleanly by Griffin Height. Now up and across to Neal, whose shot gets deflected on the way through. Couldn't make it there cleanly. Now spreading out to make the save was Penner from behind the net. Pass out in front. Ends up making its way out of the zone as the net. Its bearings again, and Ethan Penner slow to get up here. So he reaches behind the net to grab his stick, and we've seen some good effort on display here from number 29 tonight. And that time no different, as he stretched out all the way to attempt to make that, and Lucky for him, though, that the net ended up being off. And the refs call it dead because, and as well as the Canucks, all three things happening. The Canucks missing on that pass and play up to the point because there's a wide open net. And now here's a chance for Nolan Anderson, whose shot goes over the net, whistling high. What a chance there for number 10, Tristan Arneson now coming down. We're back to even strength. This drop back height, his shot unable to get through as it's blocked. The pace really picking up here suddenly as we get back to 5-on-5 play. As Dayton Kiesman has this stripped away. Here's Arneson now into the slot, but that deflected out of. It's now held in by the Canucks at the point. If you just missed it, it's the Canucks who go up 3-2 in this one. Off their latest goal, even strength as a Victoria taken down. No call on the play. This chase down by Blake Lee as he spins towards the boards. Titterson cut him off. As this gets dropped back to Jacob Phillips. Played up off the stick of DeGagne and back down again. Connor Murphy leaving that for a teammate. Got up to Brady Thorsteinson and now sent all the way into the Vic zone for an icing. So the most recent goal scorer in this one, I believe it was Rory Neal. It's the captain. Been big so far this year as it's gone along for this Canucks team. 41 points in 18 games coming into tonight. Of course, adding on to that total recently. This taken away now out in front, but sprawling out to make that save. Getting the blocker on it. Number 29 in Penner. As the Canucks doing a really good job of forcing turnovers down low inside of the Victoria zone and putting pressure on their defense, which we've seen in the past. You know, you put a bit of pressure on them, let them know you're there, you get some sticks in there on pucks that they're possessing or, you know, sticks in the way. It causes a bit of chaos, it seems, for this Vic's back end that led to a turnover there and creating a chance in front for this Canucks team where they've been pretty dangerous in the second period in the offensive zone. 3 unanswered after trailing in the first, after the first coming in to this second 2-0. Ruben, slick move from number 9, continuing to drag it down to the goal line, out in front to Netradouk. His shot turned aside by Murphy. This top line looking to get things going here for this Vic's team offensively. This played all the way back down into the Canucks zone. Neal giving chase, being pressured there by Ruben. He forces a turnover. Now into the slot. Netraduke turned aside by that shoulder of Murphy. So Arneson, who skates it near the Vic zone, as this played all the way into the Canucks zone now. A victorious stick. No icing on the play, but Rubini was unable to make it down quick enough. Griffin Height now. His shot turned aside into the corner off that rush chance from Rubini. From Height. Is at the point. Salamanca. His shot tipped in. Scores. 4 unanswered now for this Canucks team. This is Ashton Romanek putting it home. So he gives this Canucks squad a bit of breathing room on the scoreboard for the time being. And once again, this Canucks team doing a really good job of moving the puck around in their own end, or in the opposition's end, as I should say, and doing a good job of getting to the net. And when you're able to have accurate shots going there as well, it definitely is able to help. Romanek with some good hand-eye to put it away. So he sends this in now on Penner. Is Penner really into this game emotionally right now, but maybe not in the best ways for this Vicks team, as you can kind of tell his focus maybe not totally on point right now. Now that last shot from Ashton Romanek, which resulted in a goal, brought to you by goaltenders. Nice job of him to get good positioning inside on the Vicks defense. And that's just another one where, the Vicks shirt's a good play by Romanek, but got to bear down defensively and not let him get behind your defense, in front of your net at that and high real estate. Is down low. This now into the skates, turned aside on the rebound. Number 13 for the Vicks gets this up to the point. Philippe, his shot turned aside wide of the net. So it's Dario Macchia that got it up to him. This picked off. Hayden Willis tries to maneuver through to the middle, but lost possession of the puck. It'll be loose picked up by Connor Mitchell, but taken away by this Canucks team and attempted to be played up by Aiden Bruce, who got the scoring started in this period for the Canucks. Now across to Mitchell in the slot, but unable to go. As this now taken away by Mitchell again, his shot just wide of the net. As the Canucks getting hemmed in a bit right now by some Vicks pressure. Oh, through the legs, Gilson a bit sneaky. But alas, the chance can't go for him. Romanek, the most recent goal scorer in this one, circles around before sending this out. And into the Victoria's end, it'll be Dayton Kiesman who picks it up. Goes off the boards to Kirkness, but has this stripped away. It's the Canucks unable to hold it in the zone, do anything with it. Rory Neal ends up playing this across to Grindle, gets it back to Neal. Neal quickly back to Grindle. Grindle, nice inside move. Backhand pass up. It's to number 27 and Isaac Martin, who sends it in deep, going in for a little dump and chase. Pretty good on the chase as there's a pin up along the boards. Martin continues down low, tries to get a stick in the lane there to take that away, but couldn't. This flipped all the way out and on net. Not sure if they'll register that as a shot, but nonetheless, Connor Murphy plays it to a teammate, and Neal, who played it up to Gagne, who nice job along the boards to muscle up, gets this into the Vic zone. That'll be all as the Vicks now able to get this up. Nice pass reception there by Blake Lee, but couldn't dangle through Rory Neal. Solid defensively there. So now backhands this pass up to Magnus Enerson, as Enerson dodges a hit, or incoming hit, from Aiden Anderson. So it'll be the Vicks on a break. Aiden Anderson trying to shoot, but has his pocket picked by Magnus Enerson. Good back check there from number 6. It's good work along the boards for this Vic squad. Now that shot turned aside into the breadbasket of Murphy. Off the shot of Aiden Anderson with 7:26 remaining here in this period of action. 4 unanswered for the Canucks. This period brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Connor Murphy been locked in during this frame. This is face-off won by his Canucks teammates. Played up and across by Osterman, but not quite there in the reach for Thorsteinsson, as Brady Thorsteinsson out there. Along with Osterman, as Osterman had that sticked away by Philippe. Upon entry into the breadbasket again of Murphy, that shot goes. So with 7:02 on the clock. Of course, final weekend of action here in the mmjhl's 2024 calendar schedule. As Victoria's team be back in action again on Sunday, getting the Friday off, as they always do, as this played up. Nolan Anderson too far for Rubini. Was complaining a bit of illegal stick checking, he was arguing there from Titterson. But ref ends up not calling it. Delayed offside, and a shove there from Nolan Anderson on Salamanca. Salamanca just ends up skating away afterwards, not wanting to engage with this. Be Nolan sent back to the bench. Well, actually stay on, sorry. As he lines up nearest to the bench as this draw won by the Canucks and played D-to-D. Rory Neal plays it up to Tristan Arneson, who plays it into the middle. I believe Kuksek, as that shot just turned aside by the left arm of Ethan Penner. Vic's try to control it down low. That pass just strong enough to get to Goretzky. Rubini sent it into the middle for Nolan Anderson, but pass out of his reach. Nolan soars back to get it, passes it to Nechwaduk, who kicks it out to Rubini towards the net. Nechwaduk unable to get that pass back. Just looked like it more of a wobbler that time from Rubini to Nechwaduk, as this played up to Romanek. Romanek decides to go backdoor, trying to Arneson. Also had Griffin Height with him. That pass can get to number 9 as he circles up. That shot blocked. As Romanek, a bit of a misplay off the boards, misread the situation. As Nolan Anderson has Rubini heading towards the net, but fanning on that backdoor chance. And he can't tuck it away because of it. Ashton Romanek the other way now. Oh, he gets blown up in the middle of the Victoria zone. Just looked like he was going to create a chance. That turns out not to be the case, as it'll be Kirkness drawing a penalty at the neutral zone. Face-off dot, center ice. Putting this Canucks team onto the penalty kill here as the Victorias look for some power play magic. Unlike in the first period, as it was the Victorias taking advantage, scoring both of their goals actually shorthanded. So, this one for St. James, they'll be looking for the same sort of magic St. Vital had against them in that first. St. Vital works this along the boards. This penalty kill for St. James brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Dayton Kiesman plays it across. Number 24 in Kirkness, who drew this penalty. Back up top to Dayton Kiesman, who shot off of the side of the net and out of play. Catching the post. With 4:47 left in this period, Kirkness ends up winning that draw. Pointer, sorry, it's Aiden Anderson. So where's number 24? Confusing with the number change. Here's Aiden. High slot, his shot wide of the net. Now picked up. Number 26 for the Victors. Is this drop back, but unable to be held in. Number 10. In Aiden Anderson. Nolan, who gets it to Aiden. Is Aiden trying to muscle his way up the boards? He can't. So the puck now beneath some bodies here as both teams look to dig it out as the Vicks who become victorious. Gets it to Gretzky to Rubini in front to Netraduke, but turned aside by that right pad of Connor Murphy as Aiden Anderson, his skate into the jersey of number 20, and not sure who that is for the Canucks. Number 20 in Grindle, as Grindle arguing that he can't move, and Anderson couldn't get himself unstuck, so the ref's a bit late on whistling that down. With 19 seconds remaining on this victorious power play, and yeah, Aiden Anderson goes into the battle there to try to get that puck loose, ends up getting his skate caught. And Canucks defenseman number 20 in Magnum Grindle in his jersey. As the Victorias, off of that little mishap, end up winning this draw and sending it down low, looking to control this. And now it's Kirkness on the puck. Has it taken away, though, by Titterson as he skates this one up, and we're back to even strength. The Canucks, successful penalty kill from them. He's working with speed. This puck taken into the mesh, out of play. .302 remaining. In the second period of action, brought to you by, as you just saw, goaltenders in Terrico. As a little stick action along the boards, Rory Neal now dancing along the point, gets this down low into the direction of Salamacha. As that passed out in front but can't go for the Canucks, as Kirkness into the skates of Netraduke, side of his skate that is. Couldn't get transition continued into the Canucks zone. This is taken away by the Canucks, bombed across off the boards by Rory Neal. But turned over as the pass a bit too strong. As this now again into the skates of Mitchell, offside on the play. The puck luck not there for the Victorias right now. Seems to not want to move in the direction they're trying to go into with ease. Compared to the Canucks, who have found ways to work the puck up pretty swiftly here as this game has gone along. Canucks been really impressed with how they've upped the pace in their game this period. A lot of players on this team, really good skaters. And when you're executing like they have, especially in the second period, having good skaters becomes even more of a benefit. It's Connor Mitchell into the slot, that pass. Goes to Blake Lee up to the point. That unloaded on by Jaquette. His shot turned aside by the pad of Connor Murphy. Under 2 minutes to play now. This dumped all the way down into the Vic zone. And on first there was Brady Jaquette. To get a stop and play, a minute 39 remaining here in this period. Take the draw. Number 26 for the Vicks, Gilson. As Gilson gets it back, goes to Mitchell, his shot, up and over the net. It's a glorious chance there. Sorry, number 24 and Aiden Anderson. Who somehow Gilson threads that pass through to him. So this draw won by the Victorias. Down low it goes. Gilson out in front. That side of the net turned aside. Off of the stick of Dario Machia. This now up to Gilson. His shot blocked off of the skate of number 2. Not too sure who that is for the Canucks. Of course, they had number 21 in this game go out in Aiden Warfield. So we're into the final minute of play of this one, brought to you by Terrico and Goaltenders. Connor Murphy looks to be perfect, but cannot end off this period. It's just as I was about to say, riding a shutout potentially into this period for Connor Murphy. It gets broken as the Vicks back onto the board. Number 26 in Gilson with his second of the night. Goal not brought to you by Goaltenders, but brought to you by Terrico. Serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. We talked about it, right? Puck management from the Canucks wasn't the sharpest at points during that first period of action. Well, we see it rear its ugly head again here. Late into the period as that puck gets dumped in. Not quick enough, a bit flat-footed as they got caught by a good, strong forecheck by the Victorias as they get the puck down low. As the Vicks able to work that out in front and put it away quickly past Murphy with 36.7 seconds remaining here. As the Victorias win this draw towards the point. Kiesman works his way up, tried to work it to the slot, but couldn't get it there. So that pass missed. Tristan Arneson holds on to this puck strongly. Now plays it to the middle. Tic-tac-toe. And in the back of the net for Griffin Height. As it's the 5th of the period for this junior Canucks team as they celebrate. And this all starts from a good breakout. Playing it up to Tristan Arneson, who I thought at first he has that poke checked away, but Arneson been really strong in his stick tonight. Able to drag it past the Vicks defense, and he's really nifty but really smart with the puck as well. And he sees an open seam right away to get it to the middle lane, attacking towards the net. And with that, the Canucks have a bit more patience at that as Griffin Height located to complete the tic-tac-toe. Back door as Penner was way out of position at that point. As we go into the second intermission with a 2-goal lead for a team that was trailing by 2 goals, down 2-0, heading into this period of action that we just witnessed. And the St. James Junior Canucks, 5 goals in this period to the Vicks 1. Gilson with his second of the night for the last goal of the period for the Victorias. As for the Canucks, though, it was Aiden Bruce who opened the scoring, then Magnus Enerson, Rory Neal with his 15th of the season, then Ashton Romanek with his 6th of the year on a deflection. Gilson now has 3 on the year. And for Griffin Height, we'll have an update on his stat line coming up here next on mmjhl game day, as we're going to cut to the start of the third period, or just before then, as we'll have some second period analysis for you all coming up before the start of the final 20 miles of play here from the St. Vital Centennial Arena in Winnipeg, Manitoba. As the Vicks, once up, now playing some catch-up in this one. Down 2, heading in to period number 3. And welcome back to St. Vital Centennial Arena, ladies and gentlemen, mmjhl fans. Been a roller coaster here tonight. My nightmare before Christmas, at least, with what has transpired from a technical standpoint on our broadcast crew tonight. But hey, we're working through it here. Decided to pre-record this game to show you something, because last night we had a piece of equipment snap that didn't allow us to use our camera. Now tonight it's the internet. Just means things can only go up from here, right, to end off 2024. And for the Vics, they're hoping things can only go up for them after a period where they headed in up 2-0, but gave up 5, only scored 1, and are now down 5-3 heading into these final 20 minutes of regulation. For the Canucks, they'd also love to see their game continue to go up. I mean, what a response, what a period from them. Started off with a blast from Aiden Bruce, and then Magnus Enerson also had, of course, a heavy blast that ends up getting in for a one-timer. Rory Neal scores the go-ahead goal at the time to make it 3-2. Ashton Romanuk with some nice hand-eye out in front ends up putting away a 4-2 goal. Lucas Gilson would score his second goal of the game to make it 4-3 to cut the lead down to 1 for the Canucks, but they would end off with some really strong passing on a tic-tac-toe play finished off by Griffin Height for his 16th of the season. What a game Tristan Arneson is having so far here tonight. He's got 4 assists or 5 assists on all 5 goals so far for this Canucks team. His Canucks are on the ice right now. The Vics follow. Looking for a big period here coming up, right? I think that, that second period really picked up the pace in terms of, we saw the Canucks kick it into gear with their speed. We saw the Vics with some good speed on some rush attempts on some chances there. But we saw some frustration from the Victorias, especially from their goaltender and Ethan Penner, as he was very talkative during that period. He's looking to reel in the emotions, as well as the rest of this Victorias team, and getting back to playing Vic's hockey, which is fast, direct, and looking to put pucks into the net at a high level. As we are underway here for the third period of action, 5-3 in favor of this Canucks team. This is Victoria's team, sends it all the way in, no icing on the plays, it's waved off. Arneson able to get this in to the neutral zone for Height, sends it up. Number 25 in Kuczek. As Kuczek get on the forecheck, forces a turnover down low, got it up to Neal, but the Vics take this away. It's Rubini over to Netraduk. And this top line out for the Vics, you gotta think that this line, if the Vics have any hope of winning, their best chances of winning tonight would come from this top line popping off in this third. As Tristan Arneson chips this in, or rather redirected it, as this now turned over, picked off by, I believe, Gillison. Tic-tac-toe scores! It's the Victorias this time that finish off a tic-tac-toe. It's either Gilson or Aiden Anderson intercepting that pass at center ice. I believe it was Gillison, and he makes a little move at center ice to get free of any Canucks defense. Makes his way into the Victoria zone, and from there ends up setting up that tic-tac-toe, which is finished off I will get the goal score in just a moment. So ends up being Dario Macchia who scores for the Victorias, putting away that one-timer. Brought to you by McKenna Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Be sure to check out their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today. As Aiden Anderson now looking to continue up the boards with this puck, but cut off by a Canucks player as the Canucks work this D-to-D. Over to Enerson, plays it up to number 2, who's bumped off the puck now. This puck able to get into the neutral zone. Tapped up by number 2 for this Canucks squad. Face-off will be coming just outside of the Canucks zone as Trent Thorsteinson in on the draw against Blake Lee. Lee won it as the Victoria send this in deep. Connor Murphy was out of his own net to stop it, but couldn't stop it soon enough as Connor Mitchell ended up getting that in the corner up to the point to Jaquette as his shot turned aside by Murphy. This now laid up, and now Canuck knocked off the pocket. It's onto the stick of number 14, and Mitchell has that blocked on a shot attempt through. As Osterman finds Brady Thorsteinson as, a huge flash of the leather there from number 29, Ethan Penner. To get a stoppage in play here. 17:32 remaining in a Dario Macchia goal to cut this lead back down to 1 for this Canucks team as they win that draw to Gaganye. Titterson from the point. His shot turned aside. Took a body check afterwards from number 20 in Carter Lee. As it's Ezekiel Kirkness. Decides to drop this back to Goretzky. Plays it across to Wilson as Wilson's pass off the stick of Kirkness into the glove of Murphy. So we'll get another face-off draw coming up inside of the Canucks zone. Shots during that second period, by the way, tighter than the first. It was 17-12 in the first for the Vics, only 11-10 for the Vics in that second period. Which also means the Canucks generating and capitalizing at a high rate during period number 2, almost scoring on half of their chances, pretty much scoring on half of their chances, as Kobe Edwards able to thread a pass through to Kirkness. Kirkness tries to do the same, but unsuccessful as it's blocked up by the Canucks. But the Vics get the puck back and work it up quickly. Carter Lee's pass, though, cut off as this puck ends up back out of the zone. Philippe sends this in deep as Connor Murphy out to leave it for a Canucks teammate. Number 26 in Salamanca. This gets played across to Arneson, but he was conversion on the Vics, turning up the other way. Tyler Rubini waiting patiently, trying to connect in front of the net, but Carter Lee couldn't put it away. Pass Connor Murphy. 16:15 remaining. Our first and only, I hope, I pray that that is the case, pre-recorded version of mmjhl Game Day this season. Hope you're doing well to everyone that's tuning into this one and watching. I know you'll see the final score on the website if you're watching from there for this one. If you got to our YouTube channel from the mmjhl website, you know the outcome of this one at this point in time when you're watching, as it's currently a 5-4 Canucks lead. As that, a huge block by Nolan Anderson, kicks it up to himself afterwards. Has Rubini with him as well. Rubini, a nice defensive play on the back check from Rory Neal to take that away from number 9 as he sent the pass up to the other number 9 in Tristan Arneson. His teammate, that to hide, oh, front of the net, but the Canucks unable to put it away. Loose puck, finally settled down in the corner by Kuksek. Trying to poke this away. Now taken away by the Vicks and played up to the neutral zone for Tyler Rubini as Rubini drops his back to Goretzky. He unloads, oh, huge glove save there from Connor Murphy. To deny that, Arneson takes a bump and hit down to the ice. It's the Vicks bench with a cheer. Gillison looking for 3, but denied there by the glove of Connor Murphy. Romanuk now heading the other way. Goretzky crouching to block that. Romanuk ended up taking the shot and turned aside by Penner. So 2 minutes for interference coming up here. And this coming to the Victorias. So Dario Macchia, Davis Koga is not too happy with, or David, I should say, David Koga not too happy with the referee's call. I think it was Macchia who ends up taking away that man in front of the net and hurt him into the net, and that's why the net ended up going off of its bearings. I believe Koga just arguing, I'm sure I could be wrong here, but that they were just playing tough defense. But nonetheless, it's a 2-minute penalty for the Victorias. Looking to get back to some success they had in the first period where they scored both goals to go up 2-0 after the first 20 into the first intermission, both short-handed. One of those players right now currently out in Luke Elliott. This gets played way past him, though, onto the stick of Griffin Height down low for this Canucks team. Nice job by Philippe to cut off Griffin Height, send him down to the ice with a check. It's the Canucks control up top. Enerson to Romanuk, side of the net to hide his chance, turned aside by the 5-hole, closed up there by Penner. Saucer passed out, oh, recovered nicely by Neal as he somehow got that to the forehand to take that shot. So he got deflected out of play into the netting. 56 seconds remaining on the St. James power play, and you know, with Rory Neal, like no pass to him is a bad pass, it seems. Like most, if not, aside from the select few in this league of really talented players, of superstars, like there's not many, if any, that can do what he can do to make any pass work for him, simply kicking it up to himself there and getting a shot that got deflected out of play. That shot from Neal this time was turned aside by the left pad of Ethan Penner. As Murphy out of his own net leaves this, he dished it off to Enerson, who made a nice job to cut to the backhand before passing off to Arneson. Arneson gets this up to Enerson. It's both him and Neal switch now. Enerson holds on to this puck, drops it to Arneson. Arneson over to Neal. Neal across to Enerson, drags, fires, his shot turned aside, out of play, before coming back into the rink. Rebounding right back in. This draw won by the Canucks. 10 seconds left, as mentioned, on the power play right now. Jacob Phillips was looking to shoot but decided to pass off, gets it back. Phillips, his shot turned aside by Penner into the corner. We're back to even strength with 12:39 remaining here. This gets kicked to Trent Thorsteinson, who can't thread that pass. A Victoria to Osterman as the Vicks send this in now. D to D, the Canucks go. Phillips, his pass going to be intercepted there off of stick of Kirkness. It's now sent across to the neutral zone with speed. Osterman into the Vic zone. His shot turned wide. Went off the stick of Goretzky. Nice job by 3 defending there. Coming down on the rush for this Canucks team. It was Osterman who came down on that rush. Gretzky defended. This turned over. Vicks backtrack a bit before sending it down into the Canucks zone. It's into the neutral zone. As Willis, a good job. Stand up to his man there. As this cleared all the way in by this Canucks squad. Giving chase on it, Isaac Martin, as we are back to, of course, 5-on-5 for the last few minutes here now. 11:25 remaining here in this third period of action. Aiden Anderson, so getting it to the boards, and it gets to the point. Onto the stick. Machia, his shot turned aside off of Murphy. As, a bit of a flub on that pass there from Jaquette, but was able to complete it over to Gilson. It's now onto the stick of Dayton Kiesman. Looks to go for a skate, stretches this pass up anyways at the Canucks blue line, as trying to dangle and does complete the dangle is Machia. Nice moves by Machia, but that pass off the mark across to Dayton Kiesman. Jaquette signaling to pass that up to Aiden Anderson to Kiesman. That's exactly what he tried to do, but went off of a Canucks player's pad. That now off of the glove of Tyler Rubini, who moments ago in this one, or I guess more than moments ago actually, feels like a while now, he was denied on a good look from the Vicks on a 2-on-1. As Dayton Kiesman tries to play this up, it gets through to the neutral zone, and now Rubini trying to strip this away, but a nice defensive stick there by Titterson. Is this now left for Kuksek coming in for this Canucks squad? Nice drop pass to Arneson. His shot turned aside by that blocker of Penner. Puck ends up in the corner. Canucks still hounding on the forecheck, and they get it back. Griffin Height now working up to the top of the face-off circles beyond the net line. Didn't like his options to shoot. Passed it into the corner to Romanek. Threaded a pass through to Enerson, but a bit off the mark. Enerson had to gather it off of the boards. That shot from Height down low from a side angle. Turned aside off the pad of Penner. Now turned the other way. Nolan Anderson trying to drop that to the slot, but fanned on it and also had it taken away. Now here's the captain for the Canucks. Neal with some speed down the left side. Turned aside with that right pad of Penner. Now the Vicks stretch it the other way onto the other captain's stick in Rubini to the high slot. Lee, his shot turned aside off of that pad of Murphy as, some rough stuff. A bad tumble into the corner from a Victoria. I believe they'll call this boarding. The rough stuff ensues too. As, that player down in the corner has his helmet off. As this, not a great sight right now. Rubini taking a knee by his teammate. Gretzky also in there. We will, cut away from that from the time being until things get situated here at the Centennial. It's number 2 and Evan Philippe making his way off the ice for the Vicks. Great to see him get up without any help there, as Clements done for the night, the one who laid the hit on Philippe. And we haven't had a chance to mention it as of yet, but this Canucks team, I think they're just happy to see this game continue with Philippe in what appears to be in fine condition after what had happened in Morris on Sunday night, which of course postponed that game. It'll be finished at a later date. but all thoughts go out to the Pembina Valley Twisters. In an incident you never want to see happen. It's a 5-minute boarding penalty. Game misconduct from Clements. Number 17 out of this game. It's a 1-goal game. The Victoria is looking to work it here on this power play. Tic-tac-toe action, but can't connect. Lucas Gilson as this played to Aiden Anderson. But Anderson unable to get that pass up to Dayton Kiesman. Grindle, heavy check there. Number 7 in Dayton Kiesman. As Kiesman backpedaling in his own end before sending it across to Rubini. Across into the skates of Netchwaduk as Netchwaduk cut off along the boards there, and this sent all the way down back into the Vic zone as they look to get the speed. It's Goretzky who does get sticked away just upon entry though into the Canucks end as this drop back now into the possession of Goretzky. So look to try again, potentially. No, decides to drop it back this time for Tyler Rubini. Nice aggressive penalty kill right now from this St. James Junior Canucks team as they send it all the way down once again. This one brought to you by McKen Fasteners and Tools. It's this across, picked off by Goretzky. Almost half this power play gone as we're coming up on 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and the Vics really haven't been able to do much with this man advantage as once again the Canucks sending this into the Victoria's end. And as you can look, you can see on your screen here, it's that aggressive play in the neutral zone and at the blue line from the Canucks that has given them this success so far on really bottling things at their own blue line and in their own end. The Vics, though, they finally do get some offensive zone time here. It's connected, cross ice, but a bit too slow on the release there as that's blocked up by a St. James Junior Canucks player. Left out the point. Now cross to the opposite point man to Kiesman. Leaves this for Gilson. Across to Aiden Anderson, who stick handles, but he'll be forced out by a good play there from the Junior Canucks. The presence alone. And then adding on top of a bit of aggressiveness from that Canucks player forced the Vics to have to regroup as Dayton Kiesman passing this off to Kobe Edwards, who gets this across, bounces to the point to Netchwaduk, who sends this down low. Number 25 in Kirkness. The Vics, under a minute 30 left on this man advantage, have to take advantage of what looks like a golden opportunity. Kiesman struggles out the line to drop that back. It's stripped away by Osterman. Strong to the net. Osterman tried to dangle on Penner, but turned aside as the Vics now turn up the other way. A 4-on-3 based on the numbers, but losing that in the skates. The Canucks player was a Victoria as this almost turned over in the Vic zone by Penner, but gets through to Rubini. An absolute track meet this is turned into, and now it's Gagne who strips away Rubini of the puck. Has Neal with him. Gagne over Neal, but oh, what a clutch defensive stick by Blake Lee to get a stick in the lane there to disrupt that. 37 seconds remain. So on back-to-back Canucks shorthand chances, the Vics able to survive. So with under 5 minutes remaining in this one, passed into the slot, taken away well by the coverage of Trent Thorsteinson. Picked up by the Vics though. Now to the point, Goretzky, his shot wide of the net. As this flipped out all the way. Goretzky signaling over to the bench to get some fresh legs on. As this puck ended up back into the Vic zone. As we are back to even strength, the Vics had some good looks, but nearly not enough quantity on that 5-minute major penalty, which was a power play for them. But they're back to 5-on-5. Tipped on net, but not able to get through. Now whacking away at it, but Murphy able to stick that glove out to make the save to get a stop in play. But I want to get down to it now in terms of talking about the player. I want to mention his name. I want to mention that he is in good spirits. He is okay. He will come out of this okay overall, as it was Ty Sadowski who was the player who wasn't moving on ice. Quick attention from the Twister staff and everyone acting accordingly to the situation deserves big props, as they helped get that young man into the best possible situation to recover and got him the help he needed right away, getting him to the hospital. His scans and tests all came back normal and was released and is recovering in his home now. So, speedy recovery, Ty. Hope you're back out there soon for your Pembina Valley Twisters, but more importantly, yeah, get to full health and get better soon. That's the most important thing. Hockey comes second at this point. So, I don't think anyone wants another tragic situation that unfolded 5 years ago here in St. Vital with Reese Kettler. So, glad it didn't end up resulting in something that could have been like that. But we'll stop talking about that and get back to this game, as we'll end this on a positive note here tonight, as it is positive with Sadowski, of course. Being able to be back at home, you'll love to see it. You'll love to hear about it. 2:47 remaining, the Vicks. That shot turned aside for the stick of Ryland Netchwaduke by Murphy. Played it up to the point to Kiesman as 2 sticks from the Canucks in the lane blocked that from getting through. Rubini played it up to the point to Kiesman. Got it back towards Rubini, but that through the skates of number 9 and now into the neutral zone, sent back down into the Vic zone by this Canucks squad, covered up by Penner. .222 remaining. The Victoria's trail still down by 1, but have been pressing as of late. This draw won by Netchwaduke, rimmed around by the Victorias, and now flipped out by Jaquette. Hopped over the stick of Neal for the time being. Neal got it back, fired it across, but a bit too hard there for his D partner right now in Enerson. This time, Neal tried to get it back to Enerson, but this unable to be handled cleanly as Jaquette made his way up deeper into the offensive zone. Almost had a chance. Now gets it at the point. Jaquette threads that pass to Rubini, but unable to get by that good defense. A good stick of number 6 in Enerson, who cut off Rubini well. That pass through and behind the skates of Grindle, all the way down for an icing. So we bring Mid-Cannon Fasters and Tools back onto the screen. A timeout here coming for the Victorias. As for the Canucks, they'll get some much needed rest as well here, as this next minute or so most likely going to come with a lot of intensity. Been a very entertaining game. Both teams have been trading chances. Been a very back and forth third period, as it was a very back and forth second period. And as for the Vicks here, I mean, crucial to win this face-off draw, especially with Ethan Penner now pulled. You kind of expect this with only 1:29 remaining for them to go with this strategy And Lucas Gilson's been good in the draw here so far tonight. So not only you got to win it, but you got to establish good possession here afterwards. As this into the corner, the Vicks got to win this puck battle. As 3 in the corner, 2 Canucks in that immediate corner. Neal in support as kind of the third man in the corner for the Canucks as this gets up to the point. Gretzky through, but that shot just saved by Murphy. Out in front again, the Vicks trying to get that shot through, but couldn't. Now into the slot, that missing up to Gretzky, though. That blocked by his own man, Skates. Touch back up to number 3. To Gilson, across, threaded to Anderson, his shot, oh, huge block by number 22 in Osterman as this gets all the way down, icing waved off. Gretzky able to get there first though as he fends off that check-in of Grindle. 40 seconds remain in this one now, all the way down for an icing this time. As we get to reset here for just a moment. Is there going to be another timeout that gets called? Just you got a breather. I was almost eating the mic as well as the mic got closer and closer to my mouth. So I was calling that intense few moments there. 37.6 seconds remain as Netraduke loses the draw. Do the Victorias have maybe 1 or 2 more chances on them? Maybe that's all they get here as it's back in the neutral zone. It'll be to Rubini. Decides not to wind up, instead passing off to Anderson. Rubini gets it back though. His shot turned aside, trying to get his own rebound, but couldn't. Sticked away by the Canucks. Dane Kiesman tries to hold it in, but it'll be Tristan Arneson. Now a 6-point night for him. His first goal of the evening to send this Canucks team home with 8.9 seconds left. With what will be a 2-goal win in what was an absolute battle in a pre-recorded edition of mmjhl Game Day, brought to you by Mick Henn Fasteners and Tools for that goal. As Arneson would not be denied on that play. Dane Kiesman was trying to do his best to get to that puck first, but Arneson, with a few bumps to get past number 7, Kiesman does just that, gets behind him and sends in that puck to the back of the net for his 6th point of the night, and for the Canucks, 4th straight win, their 12th of the season here officially, as they head into their final game of the 2024 calendar year. Feeling really good. 6-4 the final here tonight. Offense exploded for them in that second period with 5 unanswered. It was the Vicks who had 2 goals to start off this game in the first, both shorthanded. And they brought that 2-goal lead into the second period. But the Canucks, they flipped the switch and did just enough to hold on in this one as the Vicks continued to press as this period went along. Ended up scoring a beautiful tic-tac-toe goal, finished off by Dario Macchia, channeling their inner opponent on that chance that they had as earlier on in the second to finish it off with the 5th goal of the game for the Canucks, as Griffin Height put in the back of the net. It was a tic-tac-toe goal finish for the Canucks then. We saw some big saves, some good defensive plays all around from both of these teams defending on the rush here tonight. And in a game where both teams had their fair chances in the offensive zone with good offensive zone time established. Both teams, evenly matched, in my opinion, in this one for the most part. The Vicks let that second period get away from them, but they'll be looking to continue to search for a more consistent 60 minutes heading into their final matchup of 2024 coming up on Sunday, where they'll be at home to face off against the Pembina Valley Twisters. Of course, the Canucks facing off against the Raiders Junior Hockey Club. But we'll get into the players of the game now for the losers side and the Victorias. For me, for the Victorias, it goes to Lucas Gillison, getting the player of the game, brought to you by McCann Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Gillison got things started for the Vics in that third period, picking off a pass in the neutral zone, making two nice quick moves through the neutral zone, coming in with speed and establishing a tic-tac-toe goal that was finished off by Dario Macchia. All credit to Gilson for getting that one going. And Gilson all night long, I mean, he had 2 goals on the night. He had that assist on the Macchia goal. Was flashy with the puck all night long. Played with a good edge in tonight's game. Wasn't afraid to get in the dirty areas. And stood out the most for me in tonight's victory, or in tonight's loss for the Victorias. As for the Canucks, who their player of the game gets awarded by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. The sponsor for our winners player of the game for this evening. Tristan Arneson, 6-point night, empty net goal, 5 assists. Speaking of a player that plays with zip, Tristan Arneson is one of those players. Was so shifty tonight, so crafty with the puck, and really crafty passer too. Some sneaky passes out there. He was threading them through lanes. Really good vision from number 9 tonight. And we saw all the other strong parts of his game, right? He's a strong skater. Really good puck handler. And a player that's been really stepping up as of late for this Canucks team, having a hat trick recently for them. So that's going to do it for our players of the game. Going to Tristan Arneson for the Junior Canucks. For the Victorias, going to number 26 tonight in Lucas Gilson. Our next MMJHL game day comes tomorrow night at Southdale Community Center, as we'll be live for Riels versus Knights. We will be live for that one, I can guarantee you that, no question about it. Enough is enough, I like to say. We're going to power through our technical difficulties. Happy we could make this one happen tonight, and this one brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, McCann Fasteners and Tools, Terrico, and Goaltenders. Was not my best performance behind the mic at all tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but I was happy to get through it, and hope you got through it with me as well. This game, though, what was on display, the product, never fails to disappoint here at St. Vital Centennial Arena, and same was the case tonight, as even though the Vics end up losing, they fight hard in this one to stay close to St. James, but it's St. James who gets the last laugh. A 6-4 victory, the final here, off of a 6-point night from Tristan Arneson. It's been Graham the G Show Forsyth, your play-by-play commentator tonight, saying so long, everybody. See you tomorrow in Southdale for Riels versus Royal Knights. Oh, by the way, MMJHL Podcast Season 2, Episode 13, our penultimate episode of the 2024 calendar year, comes out tomorrow with Blake Harris, head coach of the Canucks. Had a great talk with him earlier today. But can't wait for you to enjoy that one and all the other great MMJHL content we got coming up, everybody. Happy holidays. Have a wonderful and safe holiday, whichever one you celebrate. And to all those who celebrate Christmas, have a safe and wonderful Merry Christmas, everybody. For you St. Vital Junior Victorias fans, if this is the last you're watching of us this season, we'll see you in 2025. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everybody. Take care.